Welcome to Quantum X Trades. Today we're going to continue with BTC analysis, Ethereum, and probably Matic. All right, so we're going to start with a daily time frame. All right, so we have a range, as if you have watched my previous videos, we have a range on the daily time frame, which is the blue box. We have finally reached the upper bound of the range. What are we to expect? All right, so if you watched my previous videos, we marked a few targets. So we have this target up here. Let me quickly mark it. This one here. This is a node on the volume profile, which is an area of interest, okay? I never thought that this would come in so handy, but it's very likely at the moment that we might push up to probably 26,000 to 27,000, but this node is around 28 to 30. But that's too extended. I'm expecting BTC to hit 26, 27,000, and here's why. Okay, so keep this in mind. I'll show you what happened to FTM. So FTM as well on the daily time frame. I marked an important node on the daily time frame. Well, we broke out of the range and we came very, very close to that target. We might even get back to that target if BTC pushes higher, right? We might get back into that, and from there I'll be expecting retracement, a move to the downside. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting, and this area of resistance here was drawn by using the volume profile, and price has already reached there. So either FTM, for example, will start dropping from here, or it might extend, tap into that, and drop. We'll keep an eye on it, but this is for demonstrative purposes only. Volume profile, this node, the price finally touched it, and this is what we have on the BTC chart. So yeah, this is what we have on the BTC chart. So I'm still eyeing this area here. So we have the following as well that we have to keep an eye on, the liquidity levels. So if you see, the closest liquidity level that we have is at 26,900. So that 27K is very much possible. And if you can, let me use 12 hours. Keep an eye on the volume profile. Okay. All right. So as you can see right here, we have a gap, right? Between the current level and the level that I have drawn, this reddish area, there's a gap. So if we can find support from current levels, we are definitely going to cut right through and hit those targets. The immediate target that I'm looking at is the 26,000. If the momentum will be stronger, we might even hit 27 and 28 before we can see that move to the downside. All right, so this is the overall expectation. So I'll keep that green mark so that if you watch my next video, you'll be able to see which levels to look out for. Okay. On the daily, we have been moving down. So we're coming from, let me change the daily. So we've been coming from, we've been in a downtrend. We have this down and up, right? So this, if we were to form such a structure, this would be an expanding flat. And as you know, if we have a motive wave, after the expanding flat structure, we're expected to continue to the downside. So this will either make a correction and continue up if we have bottomed, because this seems to be like a 5-wave structure, and I'll explain that in a moment. Or we might break the low to tap into the 13, 11K, wherever the price goes. And from there, if that will be the bottom, then we'll begin the bull run. Okay. So this is what I'm expecting if we complete this corrective structure. All right, so let's drop down. Let me remove this. Let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame and we see what is happening. So it's very clear right now that we are forming 5 waves. So this is like this. We have wave 1, wave 2, wave 2 there, wave 3, 4, and we are in the 5th wave. Okay? It's possible that we might extend to complete the 5th wave over there. And from there, I'll be expecting a bigger retracement, either to the downside all the way to break the bottom, or some 3-wave corrective structure and continuation to the upside. But when we get there, we'll make another video, and yes, we'll analyze the market price action. All right. I wanted to share another thing, which is about the fib technique, right? So let's go to 1 hour and I'll show you what we had in our previous video. So the last time I made a video, we were right about here. And I explained that if we can find support above the 0.13, which is right about here, price is most likely to go to the minus 0.5 and the 0.618. So we reached our first target. This was already marked on my chart. So I said my targets are 24,048 and 24,990. If you drew these levels that I was talking about, you may have seen that after we broke above the 0.13 and touched the first target, right, we got rejected. As you can see, we broke below the 0.13 and we broke below the 0, right? And we used that as resistance. We dropped in a 3-wave corrective structure. There we go, 1, 2, 3. And usually when we get rejected at the 0.13, we fail to hold that level. We usually retrace to the 0.382 or the 0.618, any of these 3 levels, right? You cannot predict these things. Price can find support at 0.38, price can find support at 0.5, and price can find support at 0.618. You just have to use price action to see which level is holding. So in this case, 0.618 held. As you can see, we reversed and we are in this impulsive wave to the upside. Okay, which I'm expecting to extend further. All right, so please mark these structures. I'm using the Binance chart for reference. So mark these structures so that you see, you can observe price action interaction with the levels on my chart. Okay, so this fib levels that I have drawn, or this fib that I've drawn, was for this, the purpose for this was to measure this leg, right? If this leg will extend, or in short, I would say it has served its purpose, right? We drop down, we are back into this level. So our target was minus 0.5 and minus 0.618. Those were our targets. Now that price has reached this level, what do we do? All right, I've got an answer for you. We go to the daily time frame. I'm using a different chart so that it's easier on your eyes. So we go back to the daily time frame and I'll draw it again. So we take our fib and we draw from the start of the impulse right here to the close. Let me expand it nicely to there. Okay, so remember, we use this technique when we have a top formed and then we're trying to make a higher high. Okay, so we are currently at the minus 0.13. Okay, we haven't broken above. So what are we going to be looking out for? If price can find support above again the minus 0.13 there, we are likely to hit 27,400 or 28. Okay, just like we did right here. So this was our chart on the 1 hour, right? As you can see, we finally hit our targets. When we were here, of course, we retraced and we finally hit our target. So if we use this chart on a daily, I'm not expecting a retracement here because we have already retraced. This is the correction here, right? It already dropped. So we're just trying to see if we are going to continue to the upside. If this level can hold, the 24,696 can hold, then we're likely to hit 27 and 28. And remember, the liquidity level that we drew was around the 26. So it's possible that we're going to tap in there. So we might tap in there and drop, or we might extend to these areas and drop. And remember, on the daily, it coincides with the node that was drawn. So let me switch, actually, it's the other daily chart here. So if I were to draw it here, right, from here to there, okay? Well, they're kind of apart, but they're close, right? These are just targets to look out for. So this is my target between minus 0.5 and minus 0.618. And that's another node on the volume profile that I'm looking out for. So I will simply be looking at the price interaction with the levels that I've drawn. So in a nutshell, I'm expecting BTC to continue to the upside, and I'll be watching out if we hold the 24,600 area. So if we can find support above the minus 0.13 fib, I'm expecting price to continue to the upside. All right. Drop down to the 1 hour. Yeah, then one might say, well, we have some sort of bearish divergence, okay? We have some bearish divergence, and this is shown by price making higher highs. Oh, this is not visible at all. Let me switch to another chart. Okay, remove that and remove that. As we can see, we have a higher high, but on the RSI we have this. So this is creating a bearish divergence, meaning reversal is very close. So I wouldn't be rushing in to buy and say, well, we're going to reach 27K. I'll still be looking out for, if we find support somewhere and I see another good move to the upside, then it will give me the hopes that 27K is possible. And even here, it's very visible, as you can see. Right here, we have a volume profile node. So what level is this? Yeah, it's the same. It's like, so if I click on it, you'll be able to see the values, 28,030. So this is where I'm expecting price to get rejected from. But it doesn't mean that it has to do that, right? We'll still have to keep an eye on what the market is doing. But I would really love it if we can tap in that area before we can drop. So we have a bearish divergence, but a bearish divergence doesn't immediately play. We might even continue going to the upside, and we'll still see this bearish divergence. Okay. All right. So just keep an eye. All right. Then let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum basically is the same as BTC. If BTC holds and starts pushing to the upside, we might see Ethereum also push the upside, as they are directly correlated. And Ethereum hasn't even reached the upper bound. It hasn't even yet touched the lower bound, right? So I'll quickly just show you Matic, because it's very, very similar. Look at this. We have this, and then I'm expecting price. So for Ethereum, I'm expecting it to reverse when we hit 2,200, somewhere there. That's where I'm expecting Ethereum to reverse from. Why? Because I'm expecting Ethereum to make a leg equal to this one here. Oh my God, my mouse skills are pathetic. Let me draw that again. So from here to here, double click, and we take that from here. All right, so you see, that's equal legs. So I'm expecting Ethereum to hit 2,200, and from there, that's when I'll be expecting Ethereum to maybe drop and break the lows, but we'll see. For now, I'm still expecting continuation to the upside for Ethereum, at least to hit this 2,200. And together, we're going to see if this plays out, right? If there'll be any changes, I'll be updating. But for now, I'm leaning to the upside. All right, so looking at this structure, so I will demonstrate this with Matic. So Matic also has a similar structure. So we have, from the downside, we have this leg, we have this expanding structure, right? And then we have this. This is what I'm expecting Ethereum to do. Ethereum currently is somewhere around here, okay? I'm expecting it to complete that leg at equal lengths before it can drop. So for those that maybe trade Matic, I would strongly advise that you don't rush to buy in. Of course, we might be left with about 20% to the second target. The first target for Matic was 1.4, the lower bound. The second was 1.8. So we might even hit this 1.8, 23%. But if we can hit this, if we hit this upper bound, I'll be expecting Matic to drop. I'm not expecting it to continue to the upside unless otherwise. But at least these are my immediate targets and areas where I'm expecting the price to reverse. All right. So this is what I'm expecting for Ethereum as well. So once again, take a look at Matic. We have from the dump, right? We have this 3-wave move to the upside. And from there, I'm expecting it to drop. And for Ethereum, we also have a similar structure. We're coming down, we have this, and I'm expecting it to extend up to somewhere there before we can see a move to the downside. All right. So that's the overall structure for Ethereum. I hope it makes sense, right? Okay, so overall, I'm leaning to the upside. I'm expecting BTC to continue to the upside. We might hit 27K, and I'll be looking out for areas where I can get into a trade for a buy. So for now, I'm going to wait and see what BTC does. I can't give you targets, buy targets, because the structure for me now is not very clear. I don't have buy levels, so I'll give it a couple of hours, or in my next video, I might share my targets. For now, I hope this gives you the general expectation of BTC, Ethereum, and Matic. I'll add some more altcoins in my next video. All right, I think that's that. Trade safely. Make sure you dig deeper into risks management. Don't blow your portfolios, right? The markets are juicy, so keep those funds tight. All right, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.